pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did someone do the roll call?
No, we didn't.
Not yet.
Or would you like, did you say with someone?
No, it does someone is what I was asking.
Oh, you do, or I can.
I do.
Would you like me to? I'm good.
Sure,
Okay, here we go. Ray,
yes.
Bill,
I'm here.
Carla's here, Fran, here. Alexandra, Christy. Is there anyone on Zoom? Oh, wow.
Apparently not.
Eric and Donna and Mike.
Mike's not here.
No, Mike's not here.
So, public forum. Any member of the public may address the irrigation committee on any matter within the jurisdictional authority of the irrigation committee. Public members desiring to provide comments must be recognized by the committee chairman and speak from the podium. Comments must be directed only to the irrigation committee. The public should address the irrigation committee members during public meetings as chairman, vice chairman, secretary, or member, followed by committee members' individual last name. Irrigation committee will hear communications on matters not on the agenda, but no action will be taken. No disruptive conduct shall be permitted at any irrigation committee meeting. Persistence in disruptive conduct shall be grounds for summary termination by the chairman of that person's privilege of address.
Okay,
That's pretty dramatic.
That
Approval of
is.
Minutes.
yeah, really, I bet we could skip that.
Okay.
Put a
I don't-
hold for just a second. because
Yeah.
We're trying to get
Go
the
ahead.
zoomies in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I think we're ready. Okay, good.
We're ready? I'm
Yeah.
out and around, well,
I don't know
around
where you
Church
guys
Street
are.
and
But down toward Georgia Slide?
towards there, but actually I'm very close to town, but there's a creek between us.
Yeah, it's really pretty. I've driven past it. I
Yeah,
used to
well.
harvest down,
I hear you,
down
Mike.
Georgia Slide.
Anyway,
Okay, let's moving on.
So Mike is here.
Okay.
Mike is still there. Hi, Mike. You're on.
Oh,
You're
hi,
on.
Mike.
So we should probably do another roll call.
Can we just say
Okay.
Mike?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, you've got Christie, you've got
Why-
other
why go
people
through
on.
them all the
I
time?
know, I'm just gonna say, Mike, are you here? Yeah. Okay.
good. You also have
Okay.
Christie.
Oh, it's
Christie?
Christy?
I'm fine tuning things here.
And Christy is there too.
And then
Oh,
I
yay,
don't,
Christy.
and then who's the other person?
Eric? Or Alexandra?
Alexandra.
She's coming up.
is-
Okay,
is
yay.
coming.
Yay.
And
Okay.
then what's,
Who's the 530-33?
I don't have a number, but it might be Eric.
They could just be listening.
Hi, Alexandra. Okay,
I don't know who that is. but
Yeah.
Anyway.
okay, so new
I
roll
think we've
call.
accounted for everyone.
Okay,
I
great.
believe.
Approval of
Everybody.
minutes.
Everybody but Eric.
Are there minutes in here?
Yeah, it was in the packet.
Oh.
Yeah, right there. They're good, I read them.
Okay, then
We could just ask for approval.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Approval of minutes, February, approval of minutes, okay, so it's actually,
We got it.
we're approving the last meeting's minutes.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
I
No one-
move we approve the minutes.
We have a second? Moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye, it's unanimous.
Okay.
Informational reports, water resources statistics. Well, irrigation committee members' comments and reports. Does anyone have comments or reports? Hearing none, move on to informational reports, water resources statistics.
Somebody has a hand up
Oh,
on the Zoom.
oh yeah,
Hi,
the number.
this is Shree. Are you going to approve the minutes of the February 16th?
Yes. We
Okay,
did.
So that's Sheree.
Have we gotten there yet?
Yes, we went past it.
Okay, well, I have a comment.
Oh, please.
Well, I mean, first you have to adopt the agenda, don't you?
Did that too. I think your phone, or you hadn't picked it up yet. I think that occurred before, before the Zoom was functioning correctly.
I think the Zoom started after that.
So I need to make a comment on the approval of minutes.
Okay,
Please.
make it.
Okay. I made a comment on 6A that the informational report from not Water Resources, from Adam Brown wasn't included in the packet,
Okay, so,
and nobody put it in the,
It was this this model. I think we
oh yeah,
it could-
we brought it in later.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
okay,
got
yeah, it came in, but it came in later in the meeting.
okay, so on 6A is when it came in, I believe.
Correct.
Yes, that's correct.
Right.
But
And-
it actually was handed
Okay.
out a little later in the meeting, I believe.
Okay, because I was on the phone, it's a Brown Act violation that if you don't have it on the website for the people on Zoom and phone, even though you turned it in at the meeting, it has to also go on the website for the other people. And I made a comment about it and nobody put my comment in there. Under public comment. It's got Steve Dowd and Donna Seaman only.
okay, what is your name?
Cherie Carlan.
Could you spell that for me, please?
Cherie, last name Carlyon.
Okay, perfect. And
Because
so,
what, given meeting has to be put on, you know, even if it's right before the meeting and then announce there's been something added, then we can download it and then we can see it. And then Christy McKay didn't even get it, it appears, because she's asking for a copy,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
thank you, Sherry.
Cherie.
Cherie, oh, sorry, Cherie.
That's okay.
Okay, so what do we do about that?
So
Good
when
question, I don't know.
we
can do
amend
about
the
that.
minutes, so we include that in the minutes and
Well,
amend
correct
it.
the minutes for one.
Yeah,
To include her comment.
Okay, okay.
Can we discuss?
What you would have to do is go back to that agenda item, and you can cite that there was a problem with the Zoom, and so the Zoom didn't start until after that had been done, and that Cherie made a comment on that agenda item. And now what you kind of should do is either accept the agenda with the noted corrections, or hold it till next, what you can do is you can hold it until next meeting.
Oh, you can't hold that.
That
But
might
it's the
probably,
minutes. It's the minutes, not the agenda.
Yeah, we
February
spent,
16th.
It's right, but it's an agenda item.
Okay, all right.
Approving the minutes is an agenda item.
It's just that reapprove it with the correction, then it's good.
What I said, they could do that, or they could just have it already done and do it in the next meeting, approve those minutes in the next meeting. It's up to them what they want to do.
we could
Correct, okay.
verify the recording
Put your hand down.
and we could bring it back next meeting for approval if that's what you guys
Sounds like it doesn't matter which way we do it, as long as we do one or the other.
right.
So we have to make a decision as to whether to accept it now or
you mean the minutes?
to put
Oh,
this item in the minutes this time as something that
the
didn't get.
agenda for next
Yeah.
time. Okay, I say that sounds
Is
like the
it-
easiest.
Is it just the water resources?
I think
on
it's, I
6A?
think it's just Adam's
It's-
comments.
It's her comment to that report.
Right. Yeah,
So
yeah, but-
we can verify the comment, update the minutes, and then have the minutes
Minutes
be
approved
adopted.
next week,
next
or
week.
next meeting.
Next
Okay,
meeting,
let's do that.
Sounds good.
So do we have to rescind our prior approval? please?
Okay. Rescind the prior, we have
Oh,
to
okay,
move to
rescind,
rescind.
yeah, okay, all right.
So I move to rescind
So we have
our
a-
prior approval.
Okay, so we're going
A motion to rescind the prior approval of the minutes.
second. Okay,
Okay. Moved and seconded to
One more
rescind. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me finish this and then we can move along. So the motion is to rescind the prior approval of minutes. And because we didn't include the comments previously about the
6A. Cherie's
is that what it
comment
is?
on
Is that-
6A.
yeah. Was it on 6A? Is that the number?
I, that's what I noted. Correct, Cherie? 6A.
6A.
Okay. So, I'm kind of
All
losing
right.
track of where we were here.
Okay, so let's go back to reports.
We're going back to the, rescinding the prior approval of the minutes from. Last meeting.
February 16th meeting.
Yeah, well, it's not the February, today is the February 16th, it was the, whatever the meeting was last time.
Well, that's February 16th.
February.
Today's March. So wasn't this last month's meeting?
Yes, it was.
So that's what we're rescinding, the
Oh,
minutes to
I guess
that
I
one.
wasn't here.
You,
There you were.
you were, I wasn't here. It's okay, it doesn't
I'm
matter.
losing
We
track.
got- I know,
Okay,
it's getting
all right,
confusing, don't worry about
I'm
it.
getting deeper and deeper in here.
Together
So
we
we're
have
rescinding
one
the approval
mind.
of the minutes from February 16th because we didn't include the comments by,
I got it all. Cherie
you
on,
got all
yeah,
the
I got it all,
comments. You got all that
6A.
in.
Moving on, now we're
Okay.
back to reports.
may
Except
have
we
another-
still have to
Can I just make-
approve.
She had another comment.
Oh. Yes. Cherie?
Okay, so if you look at the informational reports, as Adam Brown handed out a report, attachment A. I also requested that the attachment A be put on the website for that meeting date as a part, an additional packet item.
And it wasn't done? Is that what she's saying?
No. Correct.
Okay, so,
We can do that too.
We can do that.
Do that?
okay. And so do we roll
So
the
would that
report
be-
over to
that-
next month
That
then?
would be part of the motion, not only to withdraw the previous minutes, but also to include any comments from this meeting and post that to
Yeah.
the website.
That's fine.
Okay,
Does that
Now,
make
the
sense?
attachment-
the attachment, yes.
No, the
Yes.
attachment 1 to these minutes.
Cherie,
Did you
you're
get that?
cutting out.
Okay, I'm sorry, attachment 1, part of the minutes, and under that 6A,
We got it.
says they're attached to the minutes, but they should have been in the packet.
We got it.
Got it.
Yep.
So somebody, got it?
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
no, thank you, that was good. Okay.
Well, I've lost track of where we are, but.
Okay, we're in action, okay, so, information reports, the water resource statistics.
So have we actually approved the minutes a second time?
No, we can't.
Oh, no, the approval will go next month.
Yeah, then we'll
Okay.
But we
approve
can-
last month's
All right.
and today.
Still, if there's any
Hopefully.
questions. on
Okay,
this.
irrigation committee member comments and reports. Do we have anything
Hold
else?
on a second. I think what you're gonna have to do is, like you talked about doing, is, go back to that agenda item, and for the record, say, we're gonna revisit this agenda item to approve the minutes. Then you need to make a statement that we're gonna change, or you're gonna change the motion on that, and you need to make a motion and do the whole thing in order to basically rescind those minutes. Because officially, as of now, you've already approved the minutes.
No, we just
Take a
rescinded
motion.
them.
We
We
rescinded them.
rescinded them.
Motion carried
You
and
took
second.
Have a second and vote?
You
Yeah.
took a
Yeah.
vote and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You took a vote? You did not take a vote.
Yeah, I don't think you did. You gotta do the motion, the second, and then you gotta take the vote.
Okay, well, we thought we did, so we're gonna do it again. Let's start it.
Okay.
And
Are
I'll
we-
read everybody's
are we going- We're going back, so we need,
We're rescinding the minutes of
We're
February
rescinding the
16th.
minutes that we approved shortly, a short while ago, because they were incomplete.
Yeah. Motion to, yes, to rescind. We seconded.
Yeah, we had a motion and a second, and
So I'm gonna read off. Ready to vote. Ray,
aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Carla, I, Fran,
Aye.
Alexandra,
Aye.
Christy,
Aye.
Eric, Donna.
I don't get a vote.
Oh, you don't? Okay, well then that's it. Motion carried.
Okay. I'm still a little lost. We rescinded the approval of minutes. Do we approve them again? Or
No, no,
we
we're
don't?
done with the
We
minutes.
just move along.
Move along.
Okay.
Information reports.
Irrigation Committee member comments and reports. Do we have
Nobody.
information reports? So, moving on to that.
Let me give you
Water
one.
resources.
Let me give you one
Yeah,
quick
I'm sorry,
one
go
for
ahead.
just information. At the previous board meeting, we had a report from, it's gonna come to me. Castle, Kasel, and they went over, so this report should be completed, Vicious Rumors, July 13th. And it goes over the prescriptive easements, and they're supposed to be giving you a little clarity on, you know, how it's easier to have an easement based on an open ditch versus a pipe ditch. Pardon me? Oh, and so, and then clearing of and their recommendation is going, as what you guys have all been chanting, is clearing brush of the easement is essential. So when this comes out, you guys should be getting a copy of it. But it is on the same path that you guys had been going on, and I just wanted to reiterate that.
Oh, yay.
So
Easements are going to
So
be
that's an
cleared.
informational thing that's gonna be coming before us, is what you're saying?
it will be coming, yeah, you should be
Yes.
getting the information,
Okay.
or I will make sure you get a copy of it.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm done.
thank you.
So the, the other informational reports, water resources statistics, do we need to go through that?
I mean, I can cover those three items if you guys don't have any more, if the members
have-
don't have any more comments
Are
or
we
reports.
up to date so far? Okay,
Okay.
please, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, so water resource statistics, there's not, I mean, I don't have a lot of information on, you know, basically the last 2 months it has rained and snowed nonstop. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Basically, since December, really,
Except when
yeah.
it's snowing.
So, yeah.
Except when it froze.
Right. I mean, we've seen some, you know, pretty high inflows into Stumpy. Stumpy's already full. It's been full since December 31st. You know, we've seen up to 800 CFS during some of these
Yay.
storms, which is pretty,
Right on.
that's a lot of water.
That's a lot of water.
Shouldn't have to worry about it this summer.
Yeah, so climate condition water regulations for the upcoming year, the state has not updated any of those measures yet. They update their drought monitor every month. Parts of El Dorado County, they're saying, are out of a drought. You know, a lot of like the valley and some of the southern California parts they're still considering, you know, partial or moderate drought. So that's that for the climate condition water regulations. There's not too much to report. We've had, you know, obviously what we've seen the last couple of months has been favorable for the district. Application reformat appendix. I know that was in the packet here. I don't know if we need to look at it more, or I know we have a draft of the version here. Is we talking about that? Yeah. So I think with we just have to make sure, you know, the reformatting just meets, you know, has all the information that we currently have in our application. So
Perfect.
Okay. Sounds like good information.
Yeah, yay.
But nothing that we need to do anything about.
Well, that's what
Today.
he's asking for, is comments on this, to see if you want any changes or additions or whatever. And it appears Christie has given some different information. I don't know which one it's for.
Where's that?
I don't know, I got an email from her
Oh, okay.
attached to this.
It's in the packet.
It's in the packet?
Yes,
It is in the packet, it's
Yeah.
page 18 of 31.
Yeah. So just to bring that to your attention, I had a couple where I look at it and I get a little confused when you're looking at, do you supply a pond with irrigation water, and then directly across type of crop and acreage.
Which one did Christie give us? I'm not, I can't tell which one.
We should have gotten an email.
Oh, okay.
This is what Adam put out, and this is the email and with comments that Christie gave us.
Oh, yeah,
for
I
the
didn't get
packet.
that.
No,
Oh,
we
wait,
did,
maybe it's
no,
right
we did
there.
not draft this. We
No,
did
it's
not draft
it's
this.
online.
Oh, it's
No, no.
online.
This is just what,
Oh,
this
okay.
is
Look at.
the old version, right?
Oh, this is the
No,
new
you have the new
version.
version.
That's the new version?
Yeah, that's the
This
new
is the
version.
new
Yeah.
version.
The old version's not in the packet, but that's.
This is a draft,
Yeah, I like the
new
new
version
version.
I came up with.
Oh, so there's a half miner's inch now?
There's a half miner's inch
I
on
copied
pipe
all the
services.
Oh,
information
on
back
pipe.
from the old one, but what I did was I combined the two applications that are in existence right now. There's one for new service and there's one for renewal service.
Oh,
And
I
combined
see.
them on the form. And I did change the spacing to provide more room for people to write in their information. It was very tiny before, and in my mind, corrected the large amount of white space that was there and actually used it, for information. So I did not make any structural changes to the information on the report, just in the way that it's presented, or application.
It looks good.
I have a question, Christie.
Yes, sir.
Who's Nicholas and Amy Ardito?
Those are the people who are on the existing form that I took the information off of.
Right,
How is,
but
those are populated when they're mailed out. I'm not sure how that information was on there.
Are those real people?
they weren't
I-
supposed
I
to, they
kinda
weren't
was
supposed to be on
wondering.
there.
Yeah. I don't know how they got the information.
Yeah.
left. But
That's it, you just.
we can correct that and take that off, obviously.
So the question I have is, do you care about total acres managed, or do you care, and total acres irrigated, or just total acres irrigated? Do we need
It's been
managed on
since
there?
I've been here.
That,
Then you get to the question is, what does it mean by managed?
that's another thing, yeah,
Yeah.
so that's one question I had on that,
And
is
if
do we
I
need,
have
do we need
20 acres,
managed?
and of which a lot of it is forest, and is it managed? Maybe, watch the trees grow.
And
Yeah,
then,
yeah,
and,
define that, you're right. I
And
would say,
then-
it's almost like we could get rid of
excuse me,
that.
I'm trying to finish.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Type of crop and acreage, is that for the state information, or is that for our information? And then type of livestock, does that have anything to do with applying for the irrigation?
It gives-
I guess that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it gives us information, to make sure the water is being used. If there is livestock there, you said that may be something we want to follow up and make sure the ditch is not getting damaged. So it just gives us that little more information to just make sure it's being used properly, to follow the ordinance. As for the acres managed and acres irrigated, that's just some more information to see if the right amount of water is necessary for that parcel.
But what does manage mean?
I think
I
it's
mean-
just kind of like, say if you irrigate, say if you have an orchard that takes up 4 acres, but you're only irrigating 2 of those acres, right? But the whole orchard area is.
So you're
Yeah.
saying total acres basically owned versus irrigated? Cause I mean, I look at like what I do, I'm only working on, say roughly 5 acres
Right.
is what the water is put to, but then I'm not irrigating everything, every acre.
Yeah, so I think
So-
it gives a potential, right? So we could see maybe there's a potential you could end up managing those or irrigating those larger acres, in the future.
And then becomes a question, if you're doing that quote sharing thing, remember we went down that
Yeah, we went down
crazy
that-
path?
yeah.
Is that applicable here too?
That would not be, because these applications are for the one parcel, right? They're not for. the
But
whole-
you're asking about the big picture, how much are you going to So if it's your property and you share with the neighbor's property, then is it that whole amount? Or is it, sorry for putting it in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, if the board approved by the ordinance, if it approved like there was sharing between the two parcels.
Well, that's one of the
That-
parts in the ordinance.
So that would be fine then, yeah, it would be.
So
all-
then this
all
would have to
thing.
be changed to whatever,
Well, I don't know if it would.
well, that's a question,
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
either, that's what I'm throwing out
Yeah.
here.
I think at the general meeting, it was discussed that whoever has the initial, contract is still the one that fills this out, and whether or not it's shared, I believe that's what was
Right.
discussed. I don't know whether there was a, vote taken on.
Yeah, no, I'm just asking where he's saying manage, so
Yeah.
I own, say, 5 acres, and I'm only irrigating 3 acres. But if I'm sharing my water with 4 acres next door, is my total acreage managed now
Yeah.
9 acres?
That is correct. That's how I would interpret.
Well, that's what I'm saying, this is sort of, it's not real clear.
It's almost to me like we need one more little section that says whatever the correct way of saying, are you sharing? And then how many acres, and then livestock, everything you need to know, because now it's expanded, right? Like you said, we'd like to know, livestock or what they're using the water for, just to make sure. This would be a really good information. If somebody's sharing, you'd probably want to know that.
And
I have, my thought is there should be a separate form for that because it is a separate action and it's outside of the approval. I mean, it's, to share it, they say, we discussed last time that it has to be approved by the board. So it should be a form that goes to the board seeking approval,
Well, yeah,
I
that's
would, I
true.
would,
right?
I would say
So
the
it
same
shouldn't
thing
be
there.
on
I
this
would want to
form.
combine the
This form
two.
is for the person who owns the service. And
Right,
then there should be a separate form that's presented to the board specifically for the purpose of getting the permission. And on that form, you would include the extra acreage and the management and perhaps the names and addresses, or at least the addresses of the people that you're sharing it with.
Then how would the board know, or how would this person applying know that they needed to do that, unless they knew exactly what the ordinance said?
I think that's covered by the ordinance, the new ordinance.
You're missing my point,
Right.
the
How to
ordinance,
get that out there.
there's nothing on this that says.
Are you sharing it with another property? If yes, please fill out.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Number.
Okay.
Something, just something.
I say, yeah, or we can reference ordinance on, like in the footer, reference ordinance for all irrigation rules and details, website link, ordinance.
Oh, yeah, there you go, that's,
And then it would answer a lot, I think it'll answer a lot of questions when they're going through the application.
So Adam,
Well,
I have,
also stating that sharing has to be applied for approval at the board level.
I think that would probably be better to have on here and lay it out, that that's only my suggestion, because if you don't put it, how many people are gonna pull that ordinance up and read everything to know what they're supposed to do?
Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's just a lot to get every rule and every
Right.
little
But if,
caveat in there. That's what I'm just saying. It's be difficult.
yeah, if you are sharing this, please contact
Right.
Adam or whoever, for
oh
further
yeah, there you go,
information.
or see, or, for,
Yeah.
Or
rules, or
refer to
whatever. That would, I think, something.
Suggestion.
Adam,
On
I
the
have,
irrigation water use question, on the left-hand side, right below the 2024 season, under irrigation water use, do you share your service with other properties?
Yeah, mhm.
Yes or
Easy.
no? And then a line that says, very simply, either it's been pre-approved, is it pre-approved, or you're applying for, something like that.
Or something just to flag it, so when it comes in,
Right.
somebody
Then you go to
can
the
look
next
for
one.
that and catch it, and then contact those people to further maybe check it out.
Adam,
Mhm.
I would like to ask a question. Do we need to show that the district has approved this someplace on this form? Or is it just assumed?
we stamp when we receive them, so they're not really approved until the board approves them, right? We receive them, we bring it to the board in April, and then the board actually approves them.
Okay. We don't need to add a space for that.
Oh, no, I think we could. I mean, we stamp it when we get it. We just stamp a receive and a date stamp. That's what we. And I think that's fine because we don't. We go through and like organize and make sure all the priorities are correct, and then it goes to the board for that
Fine.
that final approval. That's a resolution that does that.
But do we see who? We just get the ones that are approved. Or gone through and approved.
If you're on the board, you're approving them. They
Yeah.
shouldn't be approved before.
Yes. Well, yeah. So we go through. I mean, that's what staff does. Goes through their priority list and then puts that forward. I can't remember from last year. I think in that table there is everyone who applied as well. And if you're denied because if you're outside of you're inactive too long or there's not enough water availability, that is noted in that table. So every application that comes in is on that table. If not, I'll confirm that. The one thing I would say with this, I think, so a part of our process for the application process, we actually send out two. We send out a for non-active and active. So we would want to keep that because it helps us track because of how the priorities work. It helps us track if you're inactive and who gets in line next. So when we do that, we send out like different color paper so we can really track that well, make sure we don't
Oh, good.
come out of step. So I think we would probably do some slight change where we an inactive season irrigation service application and an active or something like that, just to differentiate the two, so it's clear. So we don't have a misstep, because we have a lot of different customers, during the application period.
Do you have renewal for active, renewal for inactive, and new service?
Correct.
That's the three types.
Yeah, but the renewal, the new service and the renewal for active are the same. It's the inactive ones that have a little different language.
Okay.
Okay, do we have, are there any more questions on this? No?
I'm sorry, I have a question, Alexandra Duarte here. Are we talking about anything that we want to at the moment on the ordinance, or are we on a specific
No.
paragraph by paragraph?
The ordinance is next.
Not on the green.
The ordinance
I'm
is-
sorry,
Going through the seasonal irrigation service application is what we're looking at.
I'm sorry,
No problem.
I'll go back.
But that is the next item, so be ready.
Yeah.
Okay, now I've lost, are we under action
Yeah,
items?
We have a,
we're
whoa,
good.
whoa, 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 whoa.
C.
Wait a minute.
You have a
Oh,
hand up.
suggested application reformat and appendix definitions.
You have a hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yes.
Sheree.
It's Sheree, just some informational items. Nicholas and Amy Ardito are real people. I looked it up in a database.
Yeah.
And then also, I don't know who asked the question about how do you know if this has been approved. I believe the board is working on policies on the forms and stuff. So at the bottom of this form, it should say, created or whatever, such and such date. And then when it's revised, it'll have a revised date. After the board.
Yeah, the copy I sent in had a watermark of draft that's not showing up on
At
this.
least have.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think that's what they're working on, all different forms and policies in the whole district, so.
Yes, they are working on that.
Are we
Yeah,
gonna go through
okay.
the ordinance? Because if we are, can we take a break? Can we just take 5 minutes? It'd make my life a lot easier.
Okay.
Can I make 2 comments on the,
Or can I just sneak out?
No, hang on.
You can
Yeah,
sneak
you're
out.
Yeah.
You're the
We can-
secretary, you can't sneak out.
Okay,
You totally
You
can.
we can take a break.
okay.
That's not an issue, I don't think. So we're on number 7, action items. So-
Yes, number 7, action item.
Okay.
What else do we have?
Chrissy,
I think got a
Christie.
hand up here on the.
Yes, excuse me, yes.
Could you address the appendix definitions, which is the second part of 6C?
OC suggested that application reformat and appendix definitions.
Appendix definitions. And that is on page 19 and 31.
What? I'm not sure.
I'm losing track.
Yeah, of what? What are we talking about?
We're talking about, we had discussed having an appendix to the irrigation,
The ordinance?
Application?
Oh, to the application, okay.
okay, and I identified 7 terms that I found, that could be included. I couldn't add the definitions because I don't have that information. And when I'm talking
It
to
should be in your
them, I was
package.
thinking perhaps livestock and acres managed might be added to that list.
I don't have,
Is everybody?
look on next page here.
What does it look
There it
like?
is.
What are we
Okay.
looking for?
Are you sitting on all the copies?
No, that's my whole wad.
That's the
I don't
whole
have
lot.
I don't have a piece of the packet
Get
that
some
has
papers here.
31 pins.
Start a fire.
Christie, these aren't numbered to 31.
They're not
the ones
numbered.
that we have.
Okay, I'm looking at the copy that was posted on the website, and that's
But,
what I'm
and
trying to.
that'll,
Can you
and that'll
hold it up?
tell you what page on the website, so when it prints out, it doesn't have a page number.
That's not it.
Yeah,
Okay.
can we request a break while we figure this out?
Sure, I would say let it go.
Sounds good.
Yay.
Why don't we take a 5-minute break and,
Get your wacky thing.
yeah,
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
okay.
It's hard having an old lady on the committee, but
Try
you
to
know
figure
how
out
it
where
is.
we are.
For yourself.
Not true.
So do I need to find this, the receipt?
Did we get it?
So I need to find something for you all.
Recording stopped. Progress.
Wait,
We're still on number 7.
6C.
Did we figure
B,
it out?
state man, oh.
6C.
State
this
mandates
is,
for
this
water.
is Adam's on deck.
Oh, yes, I do see it.
Oh, wait, did we finish this part though?
No, we did
I
not.
don't think so.
That's what we gotta finish. Sorry.
I think it's if any other definitions want to be added, right? Where these are
The appendix definitions.
Yeah, these are proposed definitions.
And maybe could it be on the backside?
Oh, so it would be this.
I actually would recommend that the glossary and the definitions be on the website. So we don't have to print more paper.
We did have a customer come in one day, and if you remember the early meetings, and he expressed that he does not have, he's not able to, and he was upset that we didn't publish in the newspaper anymore. So, I don't know.
I would be happy to print him what's on the website.
Well, it just may not be him, that's all I'm saying.
That's fine.
You know, it's,
Just, yeah.
it could be, we have older irrigation water customers, right? I know, right. And that not all of them, not everyone might be, I don't know, it might be just fine putting all that. I just wanted to throw that out because I remembered him and his concerns.
Can I comment on that?
Please.
Yeah, I think that the, everything that has to do with the ordinance and is part of the ordinance, including glossary and the definitions, should be in the ordinance. It should be one complete document, that they can see on the website, they could also get a hard copy if they want. I don't think that, me being old and old school, I don't think when you have a document that says, go reference this, go reference that, go reference that, that's very confusing, and it makes it very easy for people to not understand things because, you know, they have to go somewhere else to find out what it is. Everything associated with the ordinance should be attached to the ordinance as one document. That's my opinion.
So we can go through and add these definitions to the ordinance for when it's when it's presented to the board if that's.
So that would be a board action.
Yeah,
so.
right.
We can add those.
So
to
it's
the-
No,
recommendation
Your
from
Recommendation to the board.
us to the board.
Or are you asking for an addition to this ordinance? of the definitions.
Yeah. So if we,
That's what you're asking for.
Right,
So this will ultimately be a board action, but you're recommending that they go in this now. And then we review it.
okay.
I think so, yeah.
So this is an addition to your comments already.
Right.
I have another comment then in that case.
No,
I think if you're gonna present it to the board, it needs to be complete as a brand new document, because as it says, this is gonna supersede anything else that's done in the past. So you need to have a complete thing, what the way that you want it to be, and the way you're recommending it to be, have a finished product that you can hand to the board and say, okay, this is how we want the ordinance to be. So that's how you kind of need it. Like the way right now it says in the agenda, this is the final reading of the ordinance, but to me, it is very incomplete.
Right.
This should be pretty darn close to what you want to hand the board and say, here's our recommended new ordinance. Okay, that's kind of the way that you should be done in order to expedite things and to make it easier to digest by the board, including myself. And I think that's what you need to do. You need to focus on that, in my opinion.
That makes sense.
I would, except that you will have also red lighting on one sheet of your final,
Right,
and then the final ready to go. But as you're stating, you're wanting to add things and make changes. So at this point, I believe you're not going to be reading the final. You're
No,
going
we are
to,
not.
again, make amendments to this ordinance and move it to
Yeah.
the next meeting for hopefully the final reading.
Correct. And what you give the board, and Donna's absolutely right, but for the final product that you give the board, you should have the differences in red or,
Right.
some other color.
Are there any other terms that need to be identified?
Christie has a comment. Go ahead, Christie.
Well, to add on to what Mike said, I would agree that addendum glossary as a separate item should be separate. And I'm thinking section 4, where it says charges, rates, and billings, you could add definitions. There's only 7 items, or if you add in livestock and acres managed, as I started to suggest, 9, it's not that many, and I don't think their definitions are that long. So it would be, I don't think it would add that much to the document itself, and then it would be all inclusive.
Well, you're also going
It
to,
really doesn't matter how long it is,
Yeah,
you know?
well, somebody made a comment about printing extra paper.
Right, yeah,
Oh.
I'll donate some paper.
Yeah, me too.
We were just
the other was,
suggesting.
you were gonna be referencing the backflow preventer also, which is not in this. Because that is a requirement that you have to have it before you get irrigation.
Oh, right.
So at some point that needs to be added in here. So there's 2 things you're gonna be putting in. One, you're gonna be putting in your terms, and the other one, you're gonna have that little something referencing the backflow preventer.
Oh, backflow.
Or is there anything else that needs to be added that we may have missed?
So this will be going,
Yeah, you're just gonna extend it one more month,
yeah, we'll go on
I
for
mean-
another month. So no action will be taken at this time.
but you need to make the changes. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Christie,
Christie, yeah, go ahead.
Are we still discussing the ordinance?
Yes.
Oh, you haven't started that yet. You haven't started that yet.
Okay.
You're still on 6C
All right,
with the appendix definitions.
I feel like we should
I'll lower my hand.
close
Yes.
out 6C and go to 7. And
okay,
We've
so
kind of-
yeah,
we've
I
kind of
thought
morphed to
we
that.
sort of just rolled since they were sort of together, but before we move on, are there any more terms we need to add to this that need to be included, so it's not next week, oh, we've got more terms? Everybody's good with the ones Christie listed?
Then has anybody gone through to look for terms?
I know I didn't
Yeah,
either.
So that may be,
Something we all look for terms?
I mean,
Okay.
I have no problem with these terms.
Oh, no,
I don't have to look them up, I know what they mean.
right,
no, but
We're
we
saying,
have any
You're
more?
looking at
Is there
this
anything else
document.
is
yes,
the
since
question?
we're
You're
going to
looking
add
at this
some.
document as somebody who doesn't know what you're reading.
Right,
And how is it gonna make it clearer and more concise for a person that is not been reading this for the last how many months?
right.
That's the goal you wanna have, because you're trying to make a nice, clean, user-friendly document.
Okay, so in lieu of that, should we all go through, not now, but, and then bring any more terms, right? It's not too late?
No, it's not, I don't think
No,
it's too
there's
late.
no
It
drop
should-
dead date on this.
No.
Exactly.
it's-
So that's what
we'll
we're-
table
okay,
it for the
perfect.
time being.
And so,
So that's what we'll do. Let's
And
read it
come-
again and look for terms.
Look at it again next meeting we have.
And bring any terms that you find that need to, okay, that's great. Okay, now we can move on
Okay.
to the next.
Okay?
Right,
now
so we're good with the terms? Everybody's good with terms?
Yep.
Okay,
And, yeah, they can add anything more and we'll look at it again.
yeah, perfect.
Does that sound reasonable?
Very reasonable.
Moving along to item 7, action items, final review of proposed ordinance changes.
that's what's on your table.
That's just what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Possible adjustment to irrigation season?
Slow down.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
so I think the attachment, the blue comments are what was changed from the previous meeting in the ordinance.
Yeah.
And the red comments?
But aren't we discussing whether to hold off on it and for the interim?
So you,
Yeah, Christie's got her hand up.
Losing track of where I am.
That's okay.
Yeah, I don't.
You've
You're
got
doing
a-
good. You're
You've got
doing
a
real
raised
good.
hand there.
No, you really are.
Okay,
Here's where we
I'll take your,
Yeah,
Christie, is your hand still raised or
we're coming to action items.
yeah.
or just leave it?
No, I do have a comment on the ordinance changes whenever it's appropriate, so just let me know.
Okay.
Okay. So do you wanna, are we there?
I have no idea where we are.
We're on action items, number 7.
Final review of proposed ordinance changes, that's what we're discussing, holding off on until
Yeah.
But
the next,
Christie has a
the next
comment.
meeting.
Right.
You have anything you wanna add, Christie?
Yeah, I do. I still have a thorn in my side with section 1, item B. The addition of, this would include loss of plant material or other loss related to lack of water. And I was told that it would be handled, and it appears that where it was handled was in section 1N, where it talks about buildings, corrals, and structures, being built. They added, all district improvements to the canal shall follow federal, state, and local regulations.
I
I
can't
don't think that's the
understand.
appropriate place to
Yeah.
put it, because you're talking about what the landowners can do versus what the district is going to do. I think it should be its own separate section.
Goes back to.
It should make
So
perhaps be the
page
first
item
one
N
under
as
general
in Nancy.
conditions. Or minimum,
as in Nancy.
and I still don't like the statement, that including loss of plant material, because as it relates to the permitting process and all of that, I think it's a little bit preemptive, preemptively litigates any legitimate claims. So I just wanna register my complaint about the statement in general, but the fix absolutely is in the wrong spot.
I couldn't understand
I
it, so
couldn't
I,
understand it
yeah,
either.
so I'm really at a loss.
What she is saying is she had a concern about, page 1 of 8, B1B, what's marked in red, would include loss of plant material or other loss related to lack of water. She felt that this is in the wrong place, and she would like to see, and where would you like to see it put?
I don't like that statement at all, because I think that gives carte blanche, of absolution of any responsibility. And what my point was originally was to make sure that all of the environmental reviews were done appropriately, and I'm not sure that they were done before the gunlighting. Because the gunlighting was, addressed as a improvement to the ditches. But if you take a land ditch and you put cement over top, that's a material change to the ditch. It's not a repair. It's not, so that's my gripe right there. And I feel that the statement tries to absolve the district of anything, if they didn't follow proper procedures. I don't like the statement.
Okay.
I do like the statement that's followed under section N that was added, where all business improvements to the canal shall follow federal, state, and local regulations. That's on page 3 of 8, but that's not the appropriate place to put it, because that's a section talking about what landowners can do to their properties regarding, right of way of the ditch and so on and so forth. Those are two related items, subjects. So I have two different comments, basically.
So I think the second comment, all improvements to the canal, I think that's probably a typo, should have its own header letter,
Yeah.
separate.
Yeah.
In referring to the first section, this includes loss of plant material, other losses related to lack of water. So it's apples and oranges. So the second comment is actually, if we're doing a construction project or maintenance. The first comment would be if we have an interruption in service,
Right.
not necessarily a repair activity.
But this doesn't say that.
Well-
This absolves the district of any,
Interruption, shortage, or
liability for
insufficiency
any
of
loss
irrigation.
plant when it could
Yeah,
be
it sets it
caused
up
by
in the
something
first
different.
So I guess you guys can discuss this, but I think how it sets it up, it talks about interruption or shortage, insufficiency of irrigation water supply. I think that leads into that.
Then it needs to stay there.
That's what it says.
The statement is
Ditch,
too
break
long.
pipe,
This-
whatever.
She says,
Okay, got
So-
that. Where's the second one? She said where she thinks it should go.
she thinks that this is inappropriate as well,
Okay.
okay?
What?
So I think we just need to add a letter to that, and it'll stand alone, which is fine.
The,
right?
where it says
Yeah,
all,
Adam already said he'll put that, but I think it should be right up front.
the all district improvements to the canal shall follow federal, state, and local regulations. That would be
So-
like
Yeah.
R.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be like R.
So that
I
would
think
be,
it should be A or B.
well,
Okay.
okay, but, okay,
Why?
I think
Doesn't matter where you put it, really.
it's, okay.
She wants it included with this over here, right? Is that what I'm understanding? Chrissy wants it moved
I
to
want it-
section
I
1.
want that-
She wants this to go
that
away, I
statement to
think,
be a
the thing in
standalone
red.
Statement, regardless of where you put it. I just happen to think it should be up front.
Cause that is the most important one in the whole thing.
Okay. You've got Sherry.
I'm not sure what
Well,
to do
that's
about
Sherry.
that.
That- Yeah.
Well, I think
I'm just,
Well,
what,
Dorothy
your
goes first.
question?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another question.
Cherie.
Alexandra
Sure.
was the
Is
first,
that Cherie up on
Yeah.
yeah.
Cherie? Cherie, there you are. Yes.
Yeah, you're supposed to do the committee members first, but why is there red writing and blue writing?
versions of comments. So between revisions, the red were first, blue were second. So it's just all it is with the order of discussion of the ordinance.
I think I only got, oh,
Yeah.
So then the blue second?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay, thanks.
The other question came up. The other committee member has their hand
Yeah.
up.
Alexandra, you had a question?
Trying to make this thing work.
Yes.
Yes, so I have a request for the section that I talked about last week, and it was 1J. And again, it's back down to the chemicals that are being used. I just think that environmentally safe is a way too broad and even properly labeled. I would like to say something more like environmentally safe, properly labeled, but also approved. I would actually like to say approved and correctly applied, non-restricted chemical products. Because that would take out the use of goal or anything else like that. And it takes out somebody deciding themselves what is environmentally safe.
That's a
I
good
think that
point.
if we could add in approved and correctly applied, non-restricted chemical products So nobody can apply a product that they've got to go and get a special permit for.
Could I ask where you're referencing?
1J.
I missed that.
1J.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I just have a concern that and I don't think that's any big deal. I don't think anybody's ever going to, from the district, apply anything on their own farm that isn't approved and correctly applied and doesn't need a permit.
Approved.
I can interrupt real quick for a quick one.
Yeah,
Director Stovall, you can't make any comments or say anything.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that clarification.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, carry on.
You want to use words approved by who?
well, in farming, everything's got to be approved by the USDA and you submit forms to the county. So
Is glyphosate approved by USDA?
I'm not a PCA.
We can't use anything
That
nasty
would be my
without getting
concern.
permit
Because
anyway.
glyphosate is approved by the EPA, it hasn't been.
There are
done.
things that are approved that you still need a permit to use. So gold, for example, would be an approved chemical, but you can't apply it without a special permit.
But anybody
So-
can apply glyphosate and Roundup.
Well, I was in this meeting and somebody said they had a chemical or a product that they were applying, it was killing blackberries instantly. And they thought that that was wonderful because it was so quick, and that scares the living daylights out of me.
That's quick.
I think things have to go through a proper regulatory process before we use them. And as the definition here is, if somebody decides it's environmentally safe by their own standards, they can apply it. So this would take out people being able to put on whatever they want to put on.
That's a good
They
point.
can't apply anything within the right of way of the canal. They can't apply anything within that 12.5 feet from center of the canal going both directions.
But we don't
They
have
can't
that,
apply nothing.
but we don't have that stated in this ordinance.
We may not need it in the ordinance if it's already taken care of. I just get very concerned with chemicals. And
We all should.
But there's plenty of state regulations on it as far as anywhere near the canal water.
This is not a clinic.
Yeah.
And they're pretty stringent, so, yeah, that will be addressed, and it just came up recently. too.
So maybe it should be, back to the, you can only chemicals that are, back to my old federally, state, and locally approved and permitted. And then go on with that, or something like that, where it's, you hit all the agencies that could be, putting their arms around these chemicals or keeping them out of our area.
Should we be saying no chemicals within the easement by property owners?
I don't think property owners can use anything in the
It says,
easement.
any chemical treatments performed within the easement by property owners must be approved by district staff.
Yeah, and
Well,
the district staff
if
is
there's no order
qualified.
and the district is happy to allow a landowner to look after on their own dime some of that one's beyond us.
Not within the easement. No, they will not do
Yeah.
that within the easement.
Okay,
I just remember where all this was just discussed at the board meeting the other day. They were talking about all these, equipment they're gonna get for cleaning on the edges.
yeah, that was in the last meeting with the federal grant,
Exactly.
the state grant they got, yeah.
Exactly what they're trying to get, and so nothing can be sprayed there, it's very, very strict as to what can be. Some emergents may be allowed, but I mean, it's pretty strict, and none of that is allowed anywhere near the ditch. By
Yeah.
homeowners or anybody.
Right,
Yeah, but
you can't,
where's this written so all these people can see it? I mean, there's thousands of people where that ditch water comes through,
True. And they're not all ditch service.
Right.
And that's a really good point, and that should be in the ordinance. well, what they just talked about at the board
Yeah.
meeting, that
Yeah,
should
because,
be
you know-
incorporated in this ordinance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's-
So then we have to have an
I'm not making note of that.
addition of,
Doesn't it say right here?
it doesn't,
Actually, you should probably send out a memo to any water user.
There's no rubbish, garbage.
Like
About that.
all
chemicals, or
residents,
animals.
really.
All residents,
All
really,
that, we just
yeah.
wanted,
Rubbish,
like all the
garbage,
other little
whatever.
flyers
Chemicals, I mean,
sent
that's-
out,
that's-
send it to
And add-
everybody,
Yeah.
just so you know.
no chemical
It's important.
applications of any kind
And
can
where
be
you're-
within the
Where
easement
like
of,
Powell Ditch comes
What's it-
across
yeah,
the road.
It does, within the
stick a
easement,
sign
we're
there.
allowed to.
Yeah,
make
yeah.
any addition
Also,
to
I
our
think it would be
reservoir
good
district.
to, when we send
It
that
doesn't say
out to
chemical?
people,
Yeah,
is
it says
also
chemicals,
Okay.
animal
remind
matter.
people how important it is for the farm.
so Adam found where it's in
Oh,
it's in
good.
the ordinance.
What is it, Adam?
It's the first sentence in J. And then we go 1J, and then we talk about, this does not include any pest control work done by the district. But as we've discussed, we don't do that.
Well, maybe we should move chemicals up to the front of the pile instead of at the end of the, where it's buried. So it's, if we go by what's important,
That's
what's
a
more
good idea.
important first? We don't want any chemicals thrown in that ditch, and then go through the rubbish, garbage,
You could, yeah.
animal
restructure
matter,
it.
blah, blah, blah.
We can restructure that paragraph for the
Beyond
next
just the
review.
irrigation customers, I mean, this would apply to any
Any-
property owner
Right.
that has a ditch going through it. You
Well,
know, and
that's
then
true.
If you have the ditch going through your property and you're not an irrigation customer, then you won't know that. But
Oh, yeah.
maybe that needs to be something that's put out maybe as part of a newsletter or something that we're sending out to
That,
make people aware of this.
so that would be a good note to put for another topic of
Yeah,
that to all customers within the irrigation system, and that includes customers using and non-using, that there will be no, like in J,
Yeah.
that goes out and goes specifically to those people, because if you just do a blanket to everybody and you have a bunch of other stuff like in a newsletter, they don't read it.
right.
So you want something short, sweet, and to the point, so somebody can, poof, you got a ditch, congratulations, whether you're pulling from it or not.
Right, it would almost be like Bill suggested, and send one to all residents on the divide, do you know? I mean, not everybody might realize what the ditch water is and how important it is, and it goes to the ponds, and it saved our community, blah, blah, blah.
Could you clarify something for me?
Uh-oh.
When we're talking about ditch water, is that water that is flowing through a ditch to a treatment plant?
It could be.
Or is it water flowing through the ditches to irrigation companies? Because I'm getting confused.
All the above.
It's both.
All the above.
Oh,
So it's both, so it
Yes.
needs
Both.
to go to everybody.
Yeah.
It's both.
Yeah,
And then there's
it
lots
need-
of people who live next to the ditch that don't even take
Don't
water.
use either one.
Okay.
I mean, they could go through their property and they not even take water.
Right.
And
Right.
they have blackberries growing all over it.
And the only effective treatment for blackberries, as I see it, are goats.
Yeah.
So I guess
Roundup.
With diapers.
With that,
I
I think I'd rather have the goat poop than pesticides.
yeah, I don't know how they make money with that.
You read the goats.
so we can clean up this paragraph then. We can basically reorganize it to stress chemicals.
Yeah.
So I guess the question for the committee is the edits that we have, the bottom part about pest control, about chemical treatments. Do we even want to have?
I think you should put so many feet from the ditch,
Or no
With-
chemical
within it?
treatments.
no chemical treatments within,
Well,
You know,
within the
so many-
easement, the easement's defined.
so
the
many feet of
paragraph
the,
above it.
and
Yeah.
tell them what the easement is, cause most people don't know.
So it's defined 2 paragraphs up there.
Yeah,
So
It's in there.
yeah,
So you get rid of any and you put no.
okay.
And that also must be approved by district staff, because district staff is not going to approve any chemical treatment there. So that, by property owners, period. And get rid of must be approved by district staff.
Okay, we can do that.
I can't tell if Stovall's talking to himself or he's trying to talk to somebody. I saw his lips moving.
This brings up a really good topic. You know that by the Grange out there, there's a tree this big around growing in the middle of your ditch.
Oh, there's a lot of those spots. And then I had a thought, if I can squeak in here, is adding under this section 1, that we add a reference to the backflow preventer requirement. And then we don't have to make a big about it. It's here, it's referenced, and it's in there.
And the backflow preventers are installed already.
Yeah,
Yes, I think we can, I think we can do that and we can,
just add it and
yeah.
add a reference to,
it's our cross-connection ordinance, because our cross-connection ordinance is really robust, and it talks about auxiliary water supplies, which is irrigation water. So we can add that in there.
so then you're running into these acronyms again, or these words of gray water versus irrigation water versus whatever.
Well, really in the cross
Those are
connection,
standard.
it's auxiliary water, which is all above.
Well, we could add it in, under terms.
Well, that's what I was
Yeah.
Yeah.
coming up with terms again.
That was one of my things I was gonna talk about as well, is I think that it should be added right underneath M, or included in M, that'd be 1M, where it says open drainage systems that cause a cross connection with the district's water system. That should be in there, that you're required to have a backflow preventer.
Yeah, there you go.
That needs to be spelled out in there, along with the requirement that they be certified once a year. That needs to be in here, in your face type.
But we can't get water unless we have a backflow certificate.
Well,
Oh, that's right.
right, but you
Yeah,
need to
if
preface
they're already
that with if you are a treated water customer.
Correct.
Because if you have a well, you don't.
Yes,
you don't-
you're supposed to be.
Yeah, you are supposed to.
Well, you're right.
You have treated water. Okay, yeah, we'll add that to section M. That's a good spot for it.
Then it's not a big ad.
Yep. Perfect.
I have another comment, if we are at the point where we're making comments about everything in the ordinance.
Please.
Take a breath,
Okay.
Mike.
Well, on page 4, well, let's see, I'll give you the section if I can figure it out. Well, page 4 of 8 of the ordinance, under the priorities, that priority 3 paragraph, there's something wrong with it. I mean, there's like a line in the
Yeah, there's no period, there's all, it
the
just sort of runs all
paragraph
together.
missing or something, there's something missing if you read it.
Well,
Established by and what?
Yeah,
we'll look at that and see what happened with that and correct it.
Oh, it's okay. I'm gonna grab
some of the things you guys have already discussed and resolved. So I think that's all I had.
Okay.
Okay. I have no idea where we are.
I know.
Somewhere in the, yeah, we're right.
Okay,
Well,
we're still on 7, so final, not final, we
yeah,
rid of that.
you're moving it on, but you're making,
Review of proposed ordinance change.
yes, that's where you're at, so.
Yeah, right there on A. So,
So it's
Any
going
more?
back to the board and the board's gonna kick it around some more.
No, no,
no, we
No.
gotta kick it
It's going to
around.
you
Yeah,
again to kick around
Okay.
some
yeah,
more.
with
All
all
right.
these suggestions.
So
we've
all
been-
those suggestions will
So I
come
think,
back before us again?
yeah, I think you just need a motion to send back to staff
Yeah,
to
oh,
revise.
okay, there you go.
and then
I think that would be useful, cause I'm not gonna rewrite
the
this stuff.
public comment too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cherie,
Yeah, Cherie?
Cherie.
I kind of, yeah, in your discussing about all the properties that aren't treated or irrigation users, sounds like operations maybe needs to do a database parcel along every one of the ditches. And then specifically, you can get from the county, the owner of the property and their address, and then actually send information to them regarding what they can and can't do. And these are people that aren't water customers.
At all?
You can build you know, in your free time.
Yeah.
I like that caveat.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
We're not
Yeah.
doing anything else.
Between midnight and 3 a.m.
I like that.
That's not usually a clause you add to your statement if it's something that you actually want done.
Well, I'm just suggesting.
So we do have information like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
I'm
can.
sure you do.
Yeah.
So where ditches come through and they're on well, and they don't take irrigation water.
Yeah. So we've done cross connection sanitary surveys, so we have that information.
Okay.
And we can
So-
send it out. Yeah.
Yay, Adam.
So that goes out to all.
Okay, so can we move
Well, and
on?
everybody gets the newsletter, right? You could just be added into that little newsletter.
Yeah, but
I think all customers get the newsletter. You all
but it gets lost. It kind of gets lost if you're putting too much information out. I mean, the newsletters are pretty, but reality is, if you want somebody to actually have to read it, you give them very specific information.
For something like this, I think it's important enough to just put it on its own.
And it may be something
I
that
found
goes
it
out
on
once
the-
a year,
Oh, yeah.
maybe.
I tried to steal
I didn't
it.
know where I went.
I'm sorry, I should have said it right there.
So maybe it would go out once a year, or,
Yeah, that's right, just a reminder about this time of year, or when it
Yes,
starts, or
yes.
whenever.
Yeah.
I agree, that's good, Donna. Okay, so motion to.
Okay, so possible action, we're going to review it.
you gotta make a motion to,
Moving on to next month, the agenda.
Can he make a motion, seeing as how he's chair of the committee?
It'd be better if
he
someone else
can't,
did.
but you guys
Yeah,
make
go
a
ahead.
You can make a statement.
A statement?
Yes.
Well, you can make a motion.
Yeah, make a
Okay,
motion. we'll
I
move
make
on.
a motion that this goes back to, that we retain it in committee and refer this back to staff for clarification.
For,
No, back to us to go over it next
No,
month.
we retain it here,
Yeah,
but we
but he-
refer it to staff.
you're
Staff is
making a
gonna
motion to
rework parts
refer
of
it
it.
back to staff for additional information to be included.
I so move.
I'll second it.
Second, Bill second, great.
Hey, moved and seconded to
Get that out of our wheelhouse.
send this back to staff for clarification and.
I'm not on camera this time, so.
I know, huh? And blah, blah, blah.
Clarification.
Exactly, so we need to vote.
All in
Do I need
favor?
to-
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Where's,
Aye.
that's it, okay. Alexandra? Oh, there she is. Aye. Okay,
Okay,
passed.
Absolutely sure, but that might take a roll call vote.
Yeah. This
A roll call
this
vote?
this can this can.
I wanna do it to be safe, I'm not absolutely sure, but there's certain items that take a roll call vote.
When you hear aye from everybody, okay, Ray,
aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Carla, aye, Fran,
Aye.
Alexandra,
Aye.
Christie,
I,
passed. All right, moving
Okay,
on.
moving along.
That would go to.
7B,
Yep,
discuss possible adjustment to irrigation season.
yay.
Does anyone want to talk about that? Who
I can-
who wants more water?
My request, please, I'm sorry, I'm moving around, but I would request that we adjust the irrigation system equally from both ends. So
No.
this year, I don't think we're going to have a shortage of water. However, if we do, I would request that we adjust it equally from both ends. If we're going to lose 4 weeks of water, we lose 2 weeks from the front and 2 weeks from the back, and just put that to the board for consideration.
I think we're going to discuss this again later at another meeting.
Yeah, we're too far out.
Yeah, we're not
You have to make
close
a
enough to
decision.
any
Yeah.
part of it to say anything about the end of the irrigation season.
No,
Let me
No, I think,
let me start out there.
If
Okay.
you're gonna adjust it,
wait, let Adam talk.
in other words, move it, start later and later, you need to discuss that now. I'm not
Adam's
sure,
gonna-
but it might be too late, I don't know for sure if it is or not, but
It
you're
is.
gonna wanna discuss that now.
And Adam's going to talk about it.
go Adam.
Adam's going to discuss it.
I'm not gonna I'm just gonna give the options here, right? So the April board meeting is when the regular board decides irrigation season.
Right.
Obviously, this is the last meeting before that meeting.
Mhm.
Obviously, we're still expecting atmospheric river next week.
Right.
So it's hard to, I almost think you guys might have to have another meeting closer to that meeting to really have a good idea of what is moving forward, right? Because
I think we can only go 15 days. I think we can only go, at this point, this meeting, the only recommendation, if we're going to change it, is to go to the 15th of May and extend it out to October 15th.
yeah, that would be totally fine. You could say, based on what the weather conditions we're seeing right now, if that's the recommendation you wanted to make.
I have, why just 2 weeks? Why is that all we're limited to? Because
There is
the middle of October is not okay. The middle of, I believe, the middle of May, we're gonna be fine with water. I think everything's gonna be green and we're gonna be good. The middle of October, we don't know what's gonna happen. We shut irrigation off in the middle of October, and if fire starts like it did last year, we're all in big trouble. So I say no, we started, give it 30 days. We're not gonna need irrigation water in May. We're not gonna need it this year. We've got plenty of water. Let's move it a month. And then October's safe. We're good all through October. The winds blow and the PG&E shuts our power off for a week like it's happened before. We've got irrigation water flowing. And I think we're really, really, really being, I don't know, careless if we do not protect October.
Oh, yeah, I'm agreeing with you there.
What is the
because,
requirement?
You know what,
I have a-
for the last
the
3 years,
understanding.
we
That
started
would be
water
later would be
the 1st of
fine.
May.
Would be fine, right?
And,
You're still doing
and
it
I
30
didn't even
days.
turn
No, but
the water on, I let
Yeah.
it run down the ditch.
Yeah.
So I
Agreed.
mean, you know,
Same.
it's worthless.
Does it fall
I mean,
under
because
urban
we've already
water plan
changed,
when we have this
the
and this
season
set
has
up?
already
No.
changed.
Yeah, that's right. I
Yeah,
agree
there's
with
flexibility.
you. We need it in October.
Yeah,
We
need
need
it in
the water
October.
in October.
It's
Definitely,
really up to the board. It's
because
up to
that's
the
when
board.
the
That's
fires
when
are
the
getting
trouble
But they
really
can,
rich.
they could,
Yeah, but
they can
part of-
make, maybe they can make 2 recommendations, make a
And maybe I'll just
recommendation.
make a motion,
that-
we don't start it
That's what I was
the
gonna
1st
do.
of June.
1st of June, let's just do it.
But if there's
Yeah.
some legal ramifications, we'll go back to this. The
Can we
15th
send this
is the
back to
earliest. we
staff
know.
to see if there's legal ramifications?
There's
because-
something and I don't know what it
There,
is.
I think there is too.
There's something, so what,
But
my suggestion would be that
There's
I'm game with what you, believe me, I'm game with what you have. That your first recommendation is like what Carla stated.
Mhm.
But if there's some legal ramifications that you can't end it October 30th, 31st, I don't even remember. Then you're recommending
31st.
that
Yeah,
you're doing
and-
May 15th.
And it's really,
The start date and the end
consistent with Governor Newsom's, evaluation of a prolonged drought into October and increasing fire danger.
Right, well, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I remember there's something, I don't know what it is.
It's only so we're bound by our urban water management plan, or how we control our water, right? And that's last year what happened was the state said you have to follow your urban water management plan and cut your water by 20%. That's the only really stipulation. Other than that, it's the board of directors has the authority to start or stop earlier season. That's how it worked, and that's so. Obviously, we had a really good winter. Them declaring water ration this season because if you look at the reservoirs, every reservoir is over 100% average inflow this year besides Shasta. That's it. So I think they're at 88%. So I wouldn't think we're going to see something from the state. I mean, you never know, but.
I guess we could always
Yeah.
make a recommendation to the board now, and if we get up to sooner, we can make another recommendation.
Well, that's.
But they're gonna vote in April.
Yeah, well, that's
we
okay.
have-
I would be hesitant because I'm wondering if there's any fertilizers that have to be put on crops that go through the drip irrigation. So if anybody's relying on soluble fertilizer,
Well, they would
then
be in
I
here
don't know
talking
what's
to us
the
right
answer
now.
is the-
Well, we could, put that out for comment to the customers.
They're voting in April.
Exactly, yeah, I think a little bit
We
of
have 2 weeks
feedback,
comment.
because if we.
This was it was in this month's packet. Somebody saw it and they had a problem with adjusting. I would be sitting in one of those chairs saying, I need irrigation water May 1st, but nobody's here.
No, not May 1st, but May 15th through June 1st. We're talking about putting it out 30 days. The growing season is about 2 weeks late this year, it looks like.
Yeah.
But I would like to talk to a few PCAs and people that look after the crops and say, okay, what's the effect of losing a full month? If we've got the growing season start, what are we doing to our crops? What are we doing to our grasses? I don't think it's going to be necessary. I just want to think of every possibility and every question we can. And the irrigation district has put the questions in too. So, I don't think it's at all necessary, by the way, to put the fertilizer on in May. I think we're fine starting June 1st. I'm just throwing out a list of questions that we should be asking, because that soluble fertilizer is something that goes on to the plants in the drip irrigation system in our vineyards. Personally, I think we're going to be fine. I just want to take everybody into consideration that's a water user.
Okay, so
That would be if,
Christie, you had a comment?
Yeah, my comment is just that in the ordinance, it says the season shall generally be from May to October. So I would like to see a May 31st date be considered June 1st. It's picky, I know.
Splitting hairs.
But I'm just calling it out.
I don't think you want to be that specific in an ordinance though, right? I mean, is that a year-to-year
No.
ordinance?
It's not
or
an
is it
ordinance.
a-
we're not on the ordinance.
We took out the reference to specific dates in the ordinance. It used to say May 1 through October 1. It now says May through October. But if we
Yes.
change it to June this year, that's outside of what the ordinance is saying. So
Oh, I
it's
see.
saying-
Well,
It
let's-
says
But
general.
it also says it's up to the board.
Yes.
Oh, good. There you go. Perfect. That covers it.
Perfect,
Out.
first,
And
Then
then,
it's
October
good.
31st.
and then,
Don't worry about that.
yeah, and then,
Okay. Yay, I
well, they can't
know.
see me anyway.
Okay.
But then the other thing is too, is that if there's anyone that, since this will go out to the public, that this is the proposal from, or the recommendation from the irrigation committee, if anybody has a problem with it, they can step up to the board.
Yeah, perfect.
And put their
Yeah.
comment of their
Perfect.
either for it or against it. At
Yeah.
that point,
Wait a minute, this looks an awful lot like passing the buck.
yeah, but
Well,
it's
you make the big bucks, buddy.
I'm thinking, if they want to object, they should be in your meeting.
wait a
There
minute.
you go.
But they have no decision.
They're not here.
Hey, I'm not afraid to make a motion.
Yeah, let's make a
Hey,
motion.
cause
Let's do
I've been
this.
wasting water for 2 years. I make a motion, we start
Yep.
irrigation season June 1st.
Second.
Yep, let's do it.
Just like that.
All right.
Okay.
You kind of need to rephrase that in that you're going to make a motion to recommend to the board
Yes.
Yeah.
that
Okay.
irrigation season starts
That's
June
it.
1st
He likes it
through
softer.
November 1.
I make a recommendation to the board that we start water district
Irrigation.
irrigation water June 1st.
Is that a motion?
That's
Is
a
that a
motion.
That's a motion.
Second.
Second. All right.
Okay, it's moved to second to make a recommendation to the board to start the irrigation season
June
on
1st.
July.
June
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 1st.
1st. And I'll read off to make sure. Ray,
Yeah.
Bill,
Aye.
Carla, yes. Fran,
Yes. Aye.
Alexandra,
Aye.
Christy.
Yes,
Did she say aye?
She said yes.
Okay.
yes,
All right, sorry. And that's it. Eric's not here. Passed. Yay. Come on,
Yay.
Bill.
Hey,
Yeah, baby.
Oh, I tell you,
All
man,
right.
I got water in October all the way through. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
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 We'll be dancing.
So,
That's
what I
yay.
needed.
And I have not heard one irrigation customer argue that point with me. Everybody's for it. Yes, yes, yes.
So,
October scared the hell out of everybody last year, and I'm telling you, let's keep.
You think
let's
it scared
protect
you? How
ourselves.
do you think we were when we were sitting here making the vote on whether we
I know,
potentially
the
could
day
go to
before,
court.
if the fire started?
No, it was the day of.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay, I knew it was right in
There
there.
was a house fire before that.
Yeah, yeah.
It was the very same day, if I remember right.
What Donna
5:30.
said. Yeah, good lord. Okay.
After the day of.
Okay, action item 7C. Discuss annual customer letters. Discuss reformatting annual custom letter for irrigation committee meeting is, I don't understand that sentence.
Yeah, I don't even know what is this.
Discuss reformatting annual
that this
custom letter for irrigation committee meeting
I think.
I think we've done it.
is
That's what I
April
was told.
13th.
Is that the application? This isn't the application, right?
I believe it's
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it this one?
to the,
Customer letter.
to the backflow letter.
I guess the only
And
letter
then-
that.
oh, dear
Yeah,
again
that's
tomorrow.
fine.
That's who done
Okay,
it again.
it's this one right here.
Do you figure out where your job is?
It says in accordance with the
Yeah,
federal
side.
state, yeah. So, okay, wait.
I can tell you, I'm confused when I read this.
Yeah, could we just roll this to next month and time how long the meeting's gone? I mean, should we do that? Is everybody ready to go? Or are we good? I mean, we're all looking at it, we don't know what we're reading. That was just a thought. That was just a thought. Okay, let's read it.
So these letters are letters that go out with the applications to notify customers if they have a backflow device, they need to have it tested, or if they don't have a backflow device, they need to have it installed before irrigation season. And the gist of them is it breaks down the law, why the referencing of who approved them, what devices are approved, gives reference to our ordinance, and also provide the backflow contractor of who can certify the device itself. That's what it's for.
I think it's a little too wordy in the front end here. And the important part is down in the black, the dark color. It just seems like it's kind of reading like a novel, and I don't care. That's what I'm more to the direct and to the point kind of comments or statements. Because what do you want them to do? Hello, you as an irrigation customer will need to meet the following requirements based on the federal state drinking water amendment, state of California, blah, 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 blah. And then you have it down here that you will need to install, you will need to have a backflow preventer installed and certified prior to the 2023 irrigation season. And irrigation, yeah, this whole kind of,
We can
That should be
reword it, for
23
sure.
to 24,
yeah,
shouldn't it?
yeah, well, 23, because that's all
Yeah,
we're
it
gonna
ends in
be.
October.
Yeah,
The end of October, hopefully.
because it just
That's fine, yeah, we can.
seems like there's a lot of too much stuff there.
It's,
Yeah.
it reads like a government document.
Yeah.
Well, we are a government entity, I mean.
But your customers are not.
And, I mean, I think we're just trying to get across that, we can reword and rework it, that's totally fine. I think it's just, we want to be crystal clear that it's not just us, it's a state law, it's a state regulation.
yeah.
That's all we're
Absolutely.
trying, I think that's what we're trying to do
Absolutely.
here, and then give the resources, so we can reword it and.
Because I know when I first got hit with this, and I was like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
It was the pump guys that came up and gave me the Safe Drinking Water Act, and he squeaked off all this stuff to me, and I went, "Oh!" And we were supposed to have had this done 2 years ago, and I went, "Oh, okay. Now I understand. Let's move on."
So yeah, we can reword it, that's fine.
Just to make it lighter, cleaner, and
Yeah.
Well,
More to the
basically
point.
just have to remind them that they have to have it inspected, because by now, everybody should have one.
Yes, there's a couple
Because
that,
I've had one for two seasons.
haven't we?
Yeah, I paid that $100 to get it tested too.
75.
so, yeah, so if the motion, we can, I guess, motion it would be to, right, have us.
So it's like we got. Wait a minute. I'm
Who's going
confused.
to rewrite, Adam, is that your department, you rewrite it?
Yeah. I can
You-
Because Christy's so good. It's like, let's give it to Christy. She writes good.
Look at that smile. Like, yeah, I need something else.
I know, you're bored, I can tell.
Of course, I don't know, everybody that's been getting ag water has got these every year.
Yeah,
So basically, you could probably just
But what is,
eliminate a lot of the wordage and just say, down here on the bottom, now's the time to get your backflow tested or installed before irrigation season.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be real, like a postcard then.
Something
It's
like
time,
that,
or-
something easy because everybody knows.
and
I think
go,
everybody knows now, you're right. sorry.
and go to, one, I was like, wasn't quite sure, we got two of these things.
One is if you haven't, if it's not installed yet. One is if you already have
Okay.
it installed, that's why.
So-
Because when we first started the program, no one had them, right? So we had to set up the
Right.
installed.
But I was thinking, like what Bill is saying, you have the basic information that you have to have. Say, oh, congratulations, you're an irrigation customer. But you will not receive water unless this backflow has been
You will not
installed and certified.
You will not receive
And-
either irrigation or treated water, right?
No,
No,
So-
irrigation water.
Just
Um,
irrigation.
well, that crosses another path.
She is right. In our, if they do violate it, we actually can turn treated water off, and it's in our cross connection ordinance.
Okay.
If you have a well,
Well, if you
and
don't,
if you have a well,
like, yes.
and,
Well, right now we don't turn irrigation water on, but if we find your irrigation water on and it keeps coming on, then we can take the next step. So,
and then if they want any of this information,
Yeah, you should.
they can go to our website. Or
Yeah, there you go.
call the district office, and we would be happy to send them a copy of this information.
Okay, so this is for people who have treated water and irrigation water, correct?
correct.
Like
Yeah.
well water people don't receive this letter, correct?
No, because this refers to irrigation water.
For irrigation water and treated water customers, okay. I just want, because I'm on a well and I don't know anything about backflow
Yeah, right.
stuff.
They're
Yeah.
lucky, save a bunch of money.
Yeah, so these have already gone out for this year. We don't send them out again. So
Give
I,
us a year to get them done.
yeah, so I don't think it's urgent. We can work on.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
We
Okay,
can maybe
perfect.
we can note maybe towards the end of September, October. We can.
Well, if we could get it, just keep moving it, it's
Okay,
gone
yeah,
back
that's
to
fine.
you guys, and now that we have a little
Oh,
space,
okay, perfect.
you can get that done and back to us, and then, because they're meeting every month right now,
Right.
and then they stop. So if it would get done before end of season, we could, whoop, it'd be done, check that box and move on.
Yeah, move on. Perfect, I like that.
I mean, you have nothing else to do.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to buy a little time.
It's like your boss who gave me a June 30th date for 100 policies.
So what is it we're doing with this item? Nothing?
Returning it to staff
Returning to staff.
Returning,
for,
do we need a motion to resolve this? To
No,
finish
thank
what
with
does
it?
it say we have to,
No, this is not an action item, it's a discussion item.
it is,
Oh, okay.
no, it says it's
It's
under,
under action.
it's under action items, sir.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it says discuss annual custom letters.
Yeah, but so did the other one.
Yeah.
No, we discussed them when we were returning to staff.
So we didn't take any,
Yeah,
Our action is returning it to staff.
yeah, so you wanna
Because it
make
says,
that as a motion and then we can resolve
And then
this?
we'll be fine, right?
Okay, yeah.
I move that the letter titled,
there's two of them. There's two of them.
the letter that deals with having a backflow.
The annual customer letters.
Yeah, annual
The
customer
annual
letter.
customer letter that deals with backflow preventers be returned to staff for further correction.
Second,
And annual certifications, hold on, you might want to add and annual certification.
Well, the trouble is that
We're
there
just-
is no title
We're
on
discussing,
this.
we're discussing what to do with the letter that
The letters have
would be
already,
sent out, so.
they've already gone
I
out.
think
Right,
what you did
but-
is fine, and we have a second.
Right.
All in favor, or do you wanna,
yeah, let's just say aye.
okay, all in favor? Say
Aye, all opposed.
Any opposed?
Okay, passed,
Moving along.
moving
Okay.
along. Okay, what do we want?
Agenda
for
items for next irrigation committee
It
meeting.
would be the ordinance,
Yeah,
correct?
we already have.
The ordinance, the customer letter should be
Staff will
coming
know,
back.
and so we'll get all that stuff back. So,
Customer letters, ongoing ordinance, how do you, whatever, however we say that. Anything else we wanna put on next month's agenda to discuss?
And remember, your assignment is to go through the ordinance and
Yes.
come up with terms.
Oh yeah, terms, come up with terms.
That's your homework.
I know you really want to see
As
the.
liaison, I would like to make a suggestion.
Uh-oh.
Please. We don't want any suggestions, but go ahead.
They like me, they don't know you.
Yeah, that's right. Can we mute him? No.
I can unmute just as quick as you can mute.
I'm kidding.
Time is of the essence. We have got to, whether it comes from the chairman, whether it comes from one of us liaisons, I'm not sure how that would work. But on the board agenda for next month has to be the season for the irrigation. Because the next meeting will be after May 1st. So the board has to make a decision as to when the season's gonna start and when it's gonna stop, no later than this next meeting.
Correct.
So somebody needs to make sure that that gets put on the agenda, and when it's on the agenda,
Okay.
then
It'll be on.
your chairman can go up there.
That goes back to staff because we already made a motion.
Shall reason.
Okay, so Elizabeth's going to put it in the agenda for the board.
Correct.
Right.
With
That will
the
not be- That will
recommendation.
not be missed.
Recommendation.
It's
was
actually
for
there,
you.
so.
That's a biggie, so that won't be missed.
Okay. Thank
I'm
you,
not
Mike.
sure that's quite how that works actually, but okay.
And then, yeah,
I'll make
All
sure it's
right.
in the planning.
what does he mean? Are we not doing it right?
Well, and it would be the best if
Yes.
Ray would show up to the meeting and present that.
Present what?
Give the-
Present
Or
your
Carla.
recommendation that irrigations, that the board, your committee has is making a recommendation to the board that irrigation season starts June 1st.
Write my number down, because if you can't make it, I'd be happy to do that. I bet Bill would too. Well, maybe, I'm talking for Bill, but
Okay.
honestly, if
I,
you can't.
if that's all I have to do, I think I can remember that.
Yes,
The
that's-
importance of this is that the board cannot take an action if you guys just go and make your recommendation during the typical allotted time of
That's
the
true.
irrigation committee report. It has to be, for the board to act, it has to be an agenda
On the
item.
agenda.
Right.
Got it. We're Brown Act people.
Okay,
yes. And that means, and then
Oh,
if you're
God.
there,
so I,
or what, president, vice president, somebody from the committee is there to reaffirm what took place here.
Yes, good idea.
okay, I think that's clear enough. Item 8 is agenda items for next irrigation committee meeting. Does anyone have any,
That's what we were talking about.
That's what we're talking about. So we're doing the
anything
ongoing
else?
ordinance,
Okay,
the
other than that,
customer letter, and now to make sure we get to the board.
Well, that's not on your.
No, it's not on the agenda, but.
I'd like to ask for a little more time for the customer letter applications that they have both gone out already. I know you want them done, but
Oh, no, I'm
I'd like us
perfectly
a little
fine
more
with
time
that.
for that.
So
no,
how would you?
later is fine.
Yeah,
I
so
don't think
just
it'll make
don't
any
put it
difference.
on as an agenda, and we'll wait for you to come back, and then we'll put it on the agenda. Okay, I think that's a
What's
great
your
idea.
schedule for meeting after?
They're meeting every month.
Yeah, we
We
do
meet
it every
we meet
month
every
now.
month until
November.
November.
Yeah,
right.
till November.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would like June, July time. I think.
Okay,
Let's
I'm
get
fine
to
with
the-
that, they're already
right.
out this year, we got plenty of.
Tell
time.
us when you want
And
it.
then that gives them-
Yeah, that's right, we're easy.
And that gives you guys more time to work on the ordinance.
Yes,
Yeah,
work
right.
on the
Tighten
ordinance.
it down a little bit
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
And then
We got
if it
this.
goes to next, if the ordinance goes to June,
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it doesn't, really doesn't matter.
April, May, and then it comes to the board in June,
That's
great.
perfect, yeah, that's really
You know,
good, as
then-
long as it's right.
Yeah, because you
Okay.
want all of it as perfect as you can get it.
Agreed.
Okay,
Guess what the
having
next one
beat
is?
that thing to death, so that agenda items is all that, and I will endeavor, unless there's some problem, to come to the next board meeting and make the recommendation that the irrigation season start be delayed until June 1st.
They're doing that second Tuesday every month.
Next meeting date and adjournment, irrigation committee said for the third Thursday for regular committee
20th.
meetings during the irrigation season as needed, right by the board. Next irrigation meeting, March
20th.
16th, 2023.
That-
20th,
Yeah, Mark, that's the, you're.
April
it's
20th.
April 20th.
2 p.m.,
Oh, we didn't update that.
okay?
Oh, that's okay, gotcha.
Future meeting,
Exactly.
Okay,
the next
Adjourn.
meeting.
anything else?
I think
If
that's-
not, let's adjourn the meeting.
You have to make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, we've gone to.
He doesn't make motion.
I
No.
don't make.
Okay, I make a motion to, if we're at the end of business for today, I make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
All opposed? Nay.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay.
Grand deal, baby.